I'm Courtney.
And I'm Emily. And this is Cheers to That.
I have my coffee, my second cup of the day, because we're recording in the afternoon.
It's late. It's post-work hours.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday, so getting it in right under the gun. I will be editing as soon as we finish and uploading as soon as we finish. But nevertheless,
welcome back to your weekly podcast where we talk about motherhood, marriage, and everything in between. We're ready.
We're ready. We're back. To share my beverages in case you're not watching, I'm drinking a Sunkist because there's a blizzard outside. And by blizzard, I mean it's already melted.
It is snowmageddon out there.
It's snowing. It was snowing. The snow's dissipating. But I did not prepare for this weather. And I was trying to Uber Eats today. Mm-hmm. All of the restaurants were closed.
Everything shuts down.
Connor was like, yeah, Emily, nothing's open. I called, I'm not kidding, 4 restaurants.
Chili's was open.
Yes, I saw that on the Facebook page. Yeah. But nothing I wanted was open. And so I had made a beautiful lunch. I had frozen mini corn dogs.
Okay.
Fielding had french fries. I made him chicken. He didn't want them. Mm-hmm. And Connor had pizza rolls.
Okay, and then that leads you to the Sunkist, which I didn't know they even still invented. Like, I didn't know those were on the shelf anymore.
I bought Sunkist
very 90s of
one time. Yeah, I bought them because Connor liked to do them in mixed drinks at one point. So they're probably expired because they've been in my pantry for forever. But I have
the queen of
no, I know,
will not.
But I have no Dr. Pepper, and I'm
desperate.
Fiending for carbonation and sugar. So alas,
times.
I'm drinking my 150 calorie. Orange syrup.
Okay. It is what it is.
And my teeth are going to be orange by the time we finish recording.
Mine are going to be brown from the coffee, so it's
fine.
All good.
I also have a water because I believe in hydration.
Yeah, you have to have a
balance. I usually pick between water and whatever else I'm drinking for the show, and I'm like, there's never a time where I don't have 2 beverages near me. I'm a drink girl.
Well, and you need your water. I think this is a chance for you to be an exemplar person of drinking their water.
Okay,
shout out to someone that I know, my sister, who does not drink water.
Yeah, that blew the case wide open recently that Lauren does not drink water. And
she's the healthiest person I know that doesn't drink water. She's like, I survive off of iced coffees. I'm like,
she literally tried to tell me, Lauren, sorry, I'm blowing up your spot. She tried to tell me there was water and vegetables, and that's where she gets her water from. And I was like, you're deranged. you're like,
but I'm deranged from drinking because she gives you a hard time about drinking Dr. Pepper.
At least my organs are hydrated. Sometimes with corn syrup.
By syrup.
But you and I are serial water drinkers.
I love water.
And the thing is, I will drink coffee. I will drink wine. I will drink a Dr. Pepper or Sunkist. But I will also still drink minimum 80 ounces of water a day.
Well, I went to a restaurant yesterday, and was that yesterday? Seems like a really long time ago. Nope, day before yesterday on Sunday. And the waiter looked at me like I was crazy because I ordered a water and an unsweet tea.
Oh, I always order 2 drinks.
But why do I feel like this was like such an imposition on him?
It's literally not. Whenever people try to get
both.
Yeah, when you get an attitude with me about ordering 2 drinks, like, go ahead and look inward because that's a reflection of you.
Your unsweet tea is like $5. I can order a water too.
Literally. And I need both. I need to alternate because sometimes I take a sip of my Dr. Pepper or sweet tea and I'm thirsty.
Yeah. You take a bite of food and you need to wash it down with water.
Yes.
Why does no one understand this?
I don't know. Team 2 drinks. team 2 drinks at a restaurant. I can tell it embarrasses Connor because I'll always be like a water and a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah. No.
And I think he's just
that's very normal.
Okay.
Yeah. I brought my water bottle over here. Like, along with my coffee as well. So here we are.
Haters are my motivators.
I also want to point out, because I've been dying to talk about this. So we worked together last week, one of the days, and we were in the car and we were like, let's check out this other podcast that like is kind of similar to our similar vibe, whatever. And we realized through listening to someone else's podcast how fast we talk. And we were joking. We were like, oh, maybe instead of like needing to speed up our podcast, people actually just slow it down, which is unheard of. So
you can, fun fact, if you're listening on Apple, I'm sure Spotify does it too, and I know YouTube does it, but you can change your playback speed. So if we are talking too fast for you, you can put it on 0.75.
Can you imagine though, our episodes are already like an hour and 10 minutes and then we slow it down.
And we're sprinting. No, listening to this other podcast, they are like sweet girls, but they are from the Midwest.
Chill. Like they're very
super chill personalities. Courtney and I were getting so anxious listening to them because we were like,
sped it up to 1.5.
Yeah.
1.5, and it still was
it was like barely normal pace for us. No, I know. So then we tried to put ours on 0.75 and it sounded
just
still
normal.
fast.
It still just sounded like, oh, that's probably what we need to talk at. And now I realize whenever Matt like listens to both of us talk and he's like, I literally just can't keep up with the conversation. I get it. And then you put caffeine or sugar in us and it just blows up.
Or a topic we're really excited about. Then there's no.
We could be drinking water.
100%. I'm gonna trying to stop saying literally, but there's so many things I have to say literally too, and I can't help myself. So I'm making a commitment now.
We did hear on our last. I'm gonna just put both of us under the bus because when we were listening to it together, we didn't realize how many throat sounds we had going on. We were like, I think we were both nasally. It
was a lot of choking, and Courtney goes, "Why were we so colicky that day?" And I'm like, first of all, that's not. Now you're making me.
No, we're good today. We sound perfect.
But you know, whenever someone mentions anything and then you feel it, like someone talks about lice, your head itches. You talking about the throat, I was like, mucus is in my throat.
Well, we
can
hear it.
Phlegm.
We could hear it the last one, but we're good now. I didn't even realize we were sick. So
yeah, we were both fighting off.
It was so funny to listen back to. I'm like, oh my god, sorry, y'all.
Clear your throat, gargoyle. What else? Oh, if you're not watching, if you're only listening, I do want to point out that Courtney's got a cute new haircut. She looks like a little fresh angel.
Thanks.
Courtesy of me.
I lost 10 pounds, not on the scale, but from my hair.
I mean, it honestly... Did you weigh yourself? I want to see if there is a difference.
No, I should have.
You really should because...
It's probably a pound.
Courtney has more hair than one human should have.
It's basically, I have like a horse mane.
No, it's despicable.
I am a horse.
And it's just like rude that she wants to come around me and try to like flaunt that shit to me, who's got male pattern baldness.
Shut up. Your hairstyle's so well, though.
Thank you.
You do have that going for you.
I had to go to 11 months of beauty school to learn how to do that. Thanks. I also had to fry my hair off to look like a Q-tip for a number of years before I figured out my life. So, in summary...
So you did my hair yesterday.
I did Courtney's hair.
And I loved it because I was like, let me just keep it long and put like a bunch of layers in. And then I texted you the night before my appointment and said, hey, I think I want to chop it off. And then you were like, well, let's go ahead and do some foils while we're at it. I'm like, okay, that sounds great. So we chopped it off, foiled, layered, textured, all of the things. And like, I just feel good. I feel like a brand new person. I think I have my like mojo back now.
You look springy. You look bright. You look youthful. You just look like a cute little girl with your little haircut.
Thank you. Yeah, I have basically a little like shoulder length, like like a little bob maybe situation.
Wouldn't call her a bob, but mid-length.
No. I don't know the name of haircuts.
I mean, a bob's like above the shoulders, I would say. Well, yeah, so Courtney got her hair done on Monday because we were off for Martin Luther King Day, and I'm getting my hair done. Shout out Martin. Title of today's episode, Shout Out Martin. Anyways, that's so disrespectful. Dr. King, excuse me.
Don't you dare call him by his first name.
Excuse me. But I'm getting my hair done, like actually going somewhere this week and getting my hair done. God bless. And I realized, sorry, I feel like this is a really dull conversation, but
what? No, this is
my hair is
to me.
So brown, and I realized like looking at pictures from because lately in podcast pictures I'm like, what looks so different about me? Like something looks not right, like not what I'm used to seeing. And I thought it was like merely the extra 20 pounds I have.
Shut up.
But I realized also that like my hair's I don't think my hair's been this dark in years.
It's wild to see your natural color though, all at the like, because that's all natural at the top, right?
Yeah, baby, all me.
So what she's saying is, by the next episode, we will be unrecognizable. Our views on YouTube skyrocketing.
Yeah, I mean, will I put my feet out and just wiggle them in front of the camera? Maybe.
I'm tempted.
I've been tempted a time or two. Yeah, no. So I'm gonna look amazing. Also, like by then I'll have been to the gym for a consecutive 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, we need to brag on ourselves for a minute. And by brag on ourselves, really, like I want to brag on you because
my favorite topic, please.
Say no less.
Yes.
Say no. No. Sorry. That went into my my Courtneyism.
Say no less. Say no less.
Say no less.
Go ahead. Gosh.
We have been so consistent at the gym. Yeah. It's been so motivating to me to have a workout partner.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, let's do this. Like, let's work out. We even worked out
a new person.
Yesterday. I was like, hey, I'm just going to go walk on the treadmill. Like, hey, do you mind watching my kids for like 30 minutes?
And I was like,
and she was like,
that chance,
actually,
bitch.
Never mind. I would rather work out with you.
But think of 2024, Emily, a mere 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never.
No.
But never. I've turned a new leaf with physical fitness as so far this year.
I think something has clicked in your brain.
Something has changed.
You know those little, what are those
me.
called in your brain that like
Synapses.
they touch each other and they like make a...
Synapses.
Yes. One of those has happened. It has. Like everything has changed.
I don't think that's the phrasing of how you would say it. Like, yeah, totally. Yep. Sure.
You're like a toddler that they're still forming those connections, and like yours, you're just like, I don't know.
No.
You're full of electricity now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. It's just
Am
like
I not going.
No. You're just like so passionate about it. It's just silly. But no. But I agree. I'm glad. Like I think working out together is so fun. I will say, working out at your house yesterday, not as effective for me as the gym.
No, it's so different.
And I realize I think that's been my problem in the past, is that I try to work out at home and it's just, I cannot get in the mindset. I need to go somewhere, dedicate 45 minutes, do the thing, leave. And I feel so proud of myself. And I was talking about that in therapy. I told you that I was telling our therapist, like, it's something I can do where I feel proud of myself for just doing it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to do the workout exactly as it's listed. I don't even have to finish it, but I'm moving my body. I'm getting my heart rate up. I'm already seeing changes. I told you, and Connor and I have been talking about it a lot. I'm sure you're tired of me talking about my cellulite, but I really have struggled with cellulite the last year, I would say. Really since Fielding was born, because my stomach was just looser, and I've never struggled with my midsection that much, but even my stomach was cellulite, my arms, my legs, and it bothered me a lot. I'm really self-conscious about it, and I've seen such a freaking change from 2.5 weeks of working out.
Yeah.
It is wild how much of a change it's made. I'm not seeing it on the scale necessarily, but I'm seeing it in how I feel, how my clothes fit.
And I think eventually you will. I feel I'm not a doctor or even a physical therapist or anything, but I feel whenever you first start out, you don't see it on the scale as much because the quote-unquote fat that you have is being replaced with muscle.
Yes.
And then once that is replaced with muscle, you start burning through.
Well, and muscle weighs more than fat, which is confusing because I have no muscle, so where are we going to go from here? But even we've talked about this, even if I don't see my weight change at all on the scale, that would be a little hard for me. But if I can feel good about my clothes and feel good in a bathing suit, then I will be happy. If that number doesn't change, so be it, as long as I feel confident and keep moving my body and being a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I am fitness with my sun-kissed.
Yeah. Well, you've only been doing this 2 weeks and you're I've already seen.
I'm already turning it.
I'm a year and a half in, and
whatever. But you also are always fit. But even our arms, I told you the other day, I'm look, your arms don't have wrinkles on them like mine, because it's just but that's just what I've let my body be to that point. And so I'm just trying not to be too hard on myself and just being okay, I took this time and now it's time to reinvest in my body. And
I was about to say, you're taking the time out of the day, and I think that's a big thing for me for going to the gym is I feel I have a separate place to go where I'm investing time to myself for 45 minutes. And whenever I talked to the therapist about that, she was out of the whole day, you're investing an hour into your health? That's it.
Yep.
Out of the whole day.
And it's worth it.
I'm oh, okay. Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't seem as bad. So yeah,
very
that's
necessary.
our fitness journey so far.
Working on my fitness.
Yep.
She's my witness.
I am your witness.
We made a beautiful reel. Courtney and I were popping off on reels last week.
I know. It's so fun.
It's so fun, but for me, it's so my creative juices flow in such a sporadic way. It's not I'm constantly creative or motivated to be creative. It's I'll be really active on reels and then nothing for
well, you just tell me an idea. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But like the creative juices are never flowing for me. So
you are creative. You were the idea behind our gym reel.
I was. I kind of just like woke up with that one morning.
Beautiful.
So, maybe I'm turning a new leaf too with my creative juices.
I
so
love it.
Here we are.
I don't want to talk anymore about your juices. Preferably.
I mean,
but what are we going to talk about before anything else before reading, watching, listening?
No, I think that's it. Reading, watching, listening. Let's see. Watching. Okay. I'm going to talk about my to-watch list, which is Severance. If you have not watched season 1, it's on Apple TV. I need to log on to your to my account on your TV because I need you to watch
Apple.
it.
We're pirating.
And so that is on my to-watch list. But right now, I'm still in the book Tower of Dawn, but I'm more than halfway through now, a little bit more than halfway through, and I'm so motivated to finish it. And I'm giving myself, hopefully this week, I finish it because then next week I need to be reading book club book. So I just feel like really excited to get through that book. I'm finally really into it.
The halfway point, the story on both sides is going to pick up so much. And Courtney, so if you're reading, I don't know if I even want to give a somewhat synopsis. Okay. This book is about a secondary character. It's from not the normal POV from the rest of the series.
It took a break from the rest of the series.
This really big cliffhanger. And dives into this character's story, and it's a different area, and it's just ends up being seriously one of my favorite books in the series. It's just a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And I love it. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, I'm so excited for you to read Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book.
Yeah.
One, it's a monster of a book, so it's going to take you a little bit of time. And that's okay. It takes everyone a little bit of time. It's 1,000 pages.
Okay. So 2 books.
The emotional journey you're going to embark on with that book. There is a part where I know you're going to cry, and I can't wait for you to call me crying. And I don't know what that makes me. I'm a sadist.
You know what? Well, no, because I get it. Because I actually look forward to crying sometimes because I want to be emotionally moved. And I just think about how much I was emotionally moved with the Nightingale and the women. Bawling, sobbing at this book. But with this one, it's such a compilation of, I have fallen in love with these characters and become attached. I get it. I get being a book nerd now. I understand.
You are seriously going to get to the end of the last book and feel oh my God, I want to start over.
Yeah. What do I do with my life
that
now?
You're but then you're going to dive into ACOTAR.
Yes.
Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you what you can do. You can do whatever you want.
No,
but you're going to have what they call a Sarah J. Maas hangover.
Yeah. I
good luck trying to read anything else. It's hard.
I can already feel that. I don't know. I'm so excited, and I'm feel so motivated by books right now.
Yes.
And
that's so awesome.
So I guess I haven't really, I started on Apple TV watching the series called Bad Sisters, but I like it because it's a series, it's actually UK, Britain-based, whatever.
Yeah.
But I can put it on on the TV while I'm walking on the treadmill.
Oh, perfect.
So that's kind of a low-key show,
yeah.
but that's
about
it that I've had going on because I had
You're just such a reader.
I am such a reader.
And you started classes again.
Boo, which I have to work on after this today. So, what about you?
Well, the time has come. I finally finished the Shatter Me series.
Yeah.
I cranked that book Soldier Boy so hard. Was that last night?
Night before
last. Yeah. I read I finished a whole novella that was 175 pages in 2 hours because I was I'm so ready to be done with this.
How do you feel? Because at the end you said 3 out of 5, which I feel is okay. You're not going to read it again, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Who is the author again? So we know what not to read.
Tahira Mafi.
How did you learn about this series?
TikTok.
Okay.
Someone talked about the male romance and said it was up there with one from Sarah J. Maas's, and I think she was on crack.
Nothing
I'm wondering,
compares though.
Well, but now I'm wondering was it the author herself that I was following on TikTok that's promoting her own book? Because I'm
literally,
there's some parts of the story that are good. I'm not saying it's not decent, but it felt like a story that someone started and then it gained popularity, so they had to keep it going. It reminds me of shows like Lost or something where it's eventually it gets so out of hand and you're
Where'd the plot go?
Literally, it's just been. It was fine. It was fine. I don't believe I'll read it again.
Where are you going now? What's next on your journey?
I was looking at my bookshelf while I was working today, and I realized how many books I haven't read that are on my bookshelf.
Oh, okay.
So there's another. I mean, I need to read a book club book, but
after that though.
Yeah, I am thinking I've got the book that's behind you, the black books.
Okay,
Touch of Darkness and stuff. They're like even more behind you. You'd have to be an owl to see them.
I see.
So I think I might read those because I think I found those on TikTok.
Did you say you have to be an owl to see them?
Yeah, you got to turn your head off.
Sorry, that took me a minute to catch. Let me just rotate my head 90 degrees. I'm having to turn all the way around to see these
90 degrees.
180, I mean. Actually, I can't. I don't even know if I can do 90, but yes. Yeah, so you have some books on your shelf
I have
already.
some options. I have some options. So we'll see. I don't know.
What else have you been watching?
Oh, watching Grey's Anatomy. I talked about it on my Instagram story. Spoiler if you have lived under a rock, but Derek just died.
I tried to, because I haven't made it all the way through Grey's Anatomy, but I was like, you just spoiled that for me. Like,
yeah, Courtney gaslit me into thinking that I ruined Derek dying for her, and I was like, Courtney, he died in I was in high school still. I'm pretty sure when I heard Derek, please.
If you didn't know that,
please. So anyways, I had to skip the episode to protect my peace, because
is it just that emotional? That's how I felt about the airplane car.
Oh, but the
airplane crash.
But that's so interesting to me. I mean, it's like Mark and Lexi.
Well, I mean, I didn't skip it, but I'm just saying it's so sad that I don't know if I would watch it again.
Pisses me off.
Oh.
Because, their relationship's bad. They're fighting. They're going to get divorced. They're separated. They're living on separate sides of the country, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, they weren't perfectly in love by that point?
No, they bring him back, make them rekindle and love each other so much, and he's going to D.C. one last time to, close out his lab, and he gets in a car accident on the way.
Oh, my God. That's how they sent him off?
Yes,
that's horrible.
It's terrible. And I'm like Patrick Dempsey in the show, Derek's kind of an asshole on and off. So it's
but he was a part of that show.
For sure. But they could have just made him go somewhere else like they did with Christina. And I would have been okay. Killing him was
awful.
It was just brutal. And the thing is that he was a neurosurgeon and they didn't give him a head CT in time because he was in some little podunk hospital, and so he had a brain bleed and died.
Oh my god.
He was brain dead.
Oh my god, yeah. No.
Rest in peace, Derek.
You gotta skip.
No, so I had to skip it, and then I see Meredith going through all her trials and tribulations. So
too much.
It's too much. So that's been, occupying my time. We also, not to brag, bought Sonic 3 this morning.
Oh. Wow. Is that the one with what's his face in it?
Keanu Reeves.
No, the other guy.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Jim Carrey's in all three of them.
Okay.
Also, we don't have to get into it. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that back and forth. That's my whole life.
Yeah.
With you.
Yep. I love it. I just throw out a random thing and you just guess what I'm thinking about.
Always. Jim Carrey has been in all of them, but Keanu Reeves voiced one of the people in it too.
Interesting.
I didn't get to watch all of it consecutively because I had a meeting, but...
Oh, we did watch, okay, so turns out, there's Lion King, real life action, whatever. There's also Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this because I had put on Mufasa for our movie night whenever Tristan was here on Friday night. And we're like, God, this is really dark. I don't know if this is kid appropriate. It's really violent. And Matt looks it up, and Mufasa and the Lion King, it's the exact same movie, but Mufasa is the dark adult version and Lion King is the kid version. So we had to turn it off and put on the live action Lion King.
Why would they make that?
I don't know. So Mufasa is on Netflix. Lion King is on Disney. So I don't even think they're affiliated, but it's the same exact story, just
I'm
going
to have to read the plot after this.
Yes.
How much darker can you get? Mufasa gets stomped by a herd of wildebeest.
I know, but everything looks scary. The beast looks scary, or the hyenas, whatever.
Were your kids into it?
Yes. But then we had to explain, we're turning this one off. It's way too scary. But then we were talking about, Lion King has some violent parts in it too, and we're like, well, God, imagine Mufasa if this is what it's like.
He gets murdered by his brother.
Yeah, I don't know.
And his brother says, "Long live the king," before throwing him off a mountain. Damn.
So just as a warning, a universal warning for parents.
Well, it just harks back to why we wonder, how could we possibly wonder why all of us have anxiety when in the 90s, Everyone was dying. Everyone was running away from home.
Oh.
Everyone's parents are killed.
Yes. Tarzan.
And not just like they were sick and passed peacefully.
Yes.
They're like murdered brutally.
Yes. And Disney promoted
by a
this.
jaguar in a tree they built after their boat crashed. And we're also shown their bodies with bloody footprints on the ground.
Well, but then I also wonder why growing up I loved any type of mystery crime show. It's like, because
there's two types of girls. Courtney got obsessed with crime, and I can't sleep. And I need so much Zoloft.
And I could watch a crime show and then still sleep, so it doesn't bother me.
I'm in between.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
I like true crime, but sometimes they stick with me more than I expect them to, and then I get too panicky about it.
But I just wonder why. It's like, why do I like this? Oh, well, it's because...
Because you're used to terror and trauma.
Yes, literally. From Disney movies. Thank you very much.
Your synapses.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Connections are all dark and scary.
Yeah, it's a scary place in here. Okay,
relatable. Relatable. Yeah. Well, also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we had a full snow day today.
Yes. Yes.
I was out in the snow for an hour and a half with my son.
That was, I went out on my lunch break. So I will say the only downside to working from home is you're never going to get a snow day again. But I did get to go out on my lunch break, and the kids were sledding.
Yes.
And I think they went out like 4 or 5 times today.
Tucker was so over it by the end.
Yeah, Matt took
was
them
waddling
out.
around like a little marshmallow, just pissed.
So mad. And then Addie's still like, can we go out again? Can we go out? They loved it. I think we probably got, 3 inches?
I think it was 5.
5 inches of snow.
It was a lot.
In Houston, guys. This is wild.
I've never seen that much snow here.
That is
And I grew up here. I don't think I've ever seen that much. It was a ton. And they said between 3 and 6 inches. And I'm like, yeah, meteorologist. No way. You don't know Houston like I know Houston.
Well.
And then I woke up this morning and
turns out they're experts on something.
Yeah, like they're
weather.
Scientists. Okay. Connor was like, it snowed a lot. And I'm like, yeah. I looked and I was like, it snowed a lot.
Crazy, which means that my kid's dream came true. Finally, it came to fruition. She's been begging for snow.
She's been praying to God. She told you.
She has been praying for snow, and she's like, I guess God's just not going to give us snow this year. I was to the point where I was going to book a trip somewhere.
Yes.
For next year. We're going to go see snow somewhere, and thank God. Thank God the skies came down and provided us with snow, and so my kid could get her fix, except she was asking, is it going to snow again tomorrow? And I said, no, the snow's done. It'll stick around, but it's done. Crying. Devastated that it won't snow again.
The emotions.
Don't understand it.
The emotions.
Whatsoever, because
poor baby.
I like the look of it for a little bit, but I would have been happy staying inside.
Cozy.
Honestly, it was really hard whenever I texted you because you were still on a meeting, and I was like, so are we still on to do this afternoon? Because it's hard to want to get out of your house whenever you see so much snow, which I'm so glad. Once I got here, I was super excited to record. But I do have Matt's cooking chili, so when I get back home, I'm gonna have chili and cornbread. You guys can come over. It's gonna be 2 pounds of meat.
My parents are coming over. Not that I'm not excited, but chili just sounds. My mom was supposed to make beef stew today, Nicole, and she canceled the stew because she was like, "We're not coming over anymore because ice." And I was like, okay, so I'm just supposed to starve? I haven't prepared for this weather. I thought my mommy was going to feed me. And she's like, bye, bitch. And I was like, what?
So did you guilt trip her into coming back over?
No, for sure. But it was too late for her to start stewing. She texted me wait, why are we not coming over? It's not the snow and ice is gone. I was like, yeah, I know.
That's what I've been saying.
You're depriving me. I hope you wanted your grandchild to go to bed hungry because, not that he'll eat stew anyways.
Yeah, literally.
But I'm like, I hope you don't want the mother of your grandchild to go to bed hungry because here I am.
Yeah, I'm going to wither away.
Exactly. But now she's making a spaghetti situation, which is always good. Classic. But
yes.
A beef stew on a cold day.
Oh, yeah.
With cornbread.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, Addie, she comes in while I'm getting ready to podcast. She's like, I really want cornbread. I said, well, guess what? We're going to have chili and cornbread. So excited.
See, now let's, I'll make this a poll on the Spotify. Chili and cornbread is a no me gusta.
What do you mean?
I don't like cornbread in my chili. I want Fritos.
What? You want a chili pie? What is that called? Frito chili pie?
Just Frito pie, I think. Add another word to it.
Okay,
cheesy chili
the thing
Frito pie.
is, I don't like Fritos. So that's my number one problem.
Why don't you like Fritos?
I don't know. Something about the corn chip in it.
Have you ever put a Frito in a bean dip? A canned bean dip?
I don't like bean dip. So, I mean, strike.
You think you know a person.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You think you know a person.
No, cornbread and chili is like a staple around.
Well, and Matt
Oklahoma.
loves it too. And Matt also puts mustard in his chili, which is something I had not experienced.
That's interesting. I put ketchup.
Troy puts ketchup.
Yeah, it's so good. It just gives that twang to it. What's funny is Matt was like, so like, what do I do with this chili? And I was like, I don't know. Like, this is the one recipe I cook with my heart. Like,
well, and also just like cook the meat, throw everything together, simmer.
Yes. But I had him like go ahead and dice up some onions and saute those and then cook the meat in the onion and the garlic. And then basically I was like, I mean, I guess you could look up a chili like powder recipe, whatever, or just, you know, cook with your heart, like play a little ratatouille. And
this is the man
that cooked
potatoes and orange juice, though. So like,
that's true.
Good luck with dinner tonight. Good luck. He's like, does marshmallow fluff go in chili?
So there's no telling.
I think he's learned from that. We've bullied him enough. Like he should know enough. Yeah. That's also colorblind. Like that's
not an excuse.
It feels
for
related.
Skills. No,
little Matthew.
But I love presenting him with opportunities of like, hey, there's no recipe.
You're
like,
such
have
a
fun.
teacher. I love presenting new opportunities to acquire knowledge. And I'm like, Connor, get the hell out of my kitchen. I'm cooking. If it's baking, you got it. If it's cooking, which speaking of cooking, I need a new oven.
What? Is yours going out? Or you just want a new
Something's
oven?
wrong with it.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't put it past you of like, I just really
something's not that wrong with it. Like I could probably make it, but it's not right.
What's it doing?
Well, when I'm baking, nothing gets like brown looking. It's like everything looks, I mean, you saw the cookies Connor made. They're just like it's not heating evenly.
Okay.
Connor even tried to move the racks around. I tried to make filled French fries and chicken nuggets in the oven. The rest, the like instructions on the back, 425, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes, flip it, 5 minutes, finish it. It was in there for 30 minutes until it was cooked.
Okay. Yes. So
it's not holding heat.
This is a reason to get an oven for sure.
So I know that I am the queen and I'm married to the king of unnecessary large purchases. We love buying appliances.
You do.
It's a new mattress.
Like it doesn't bother you.
No,
a new couch.
No, I started talking about it. I'm like, wait, we've almost had our couch for 2 years. Actually, we've almost maybe had our couch for 3 years.
Yeah, but it's still holding up really well. You would just like.
But there's new opportunities.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm gonna try to vacuum and like wash my rug by myself. That way, I need to just buy a new rug.
Once something is gross to me, I'm done with it. My couch isn't there yet. But we're getting close. We're getting close.
Interesting. Okay. But the oven, you for sure need a new oven.
To go.
Like, especially with your new venture of your cooking. And
yeah, I'm just it's like, how am I supposed to be a successful baker and provider and homesteader without an oven?
Yes.
So now, of course, Connor's trying to buy a double oven now and move the microwave.
That's what you have, right?
No, my microwave looks like a top oven. Everyone gets confused. Connor's like, we're going to move the microwave into the pantry. We're going to get a double oven. We're going to get an oven that does 13,000 features, air fries, it steams, it this. I'm like, we're going to have a $5,000 oven.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you guys. Yeah, that sounds
and that's what's going to happen. So stay tuned for my oven journey.
Right.
We will have the most expensive oven money can buy.
Yes.
And not even the most expensive. Connor will read reviews. Like, this is going to be his hyperfixation where I'm going to have to yell at him to get off the oven search because now that I've started it.
Oh, there's no stopping. He does this with me, like if I'm like, hey, like what kind of tires should I get? And he like will like research tires, but then I don't buy them. And he's like, but I just like research this.
No, and he gets like angry when people don't take his suggestions. Like if someone's looking for a car, he's like, why wouldn't they ask me what kind of car they should get? I'm like, because you're going to send them 45 Carfax reports. Like, cool your jets.
Well, but once he's committed to the bit, like he's committed to buying something, like he's gonna buy it. But like with me, I'm like I toy with the idea. I've toyed with the idea of buying a new dishwasher for a year and a half, and they're only like $500.
No, like dishwashers. Like I love buying a dishwasher, like a washer and dryer. Oof.
Yeah, you do.
Connor and I really enjoy that. Someone I work with has a all-in-one washer and dryer.
Matt wanted me to
hear me out. Get 2 of them.
That's what he said too. But I thought, what's the point whenever you can just
do double the laundry
and dryer
and double the laundry in half the time? That's the point.
That's what he said too.
That's amazing. What do you mean I can have 2 loads going and I'm not transferring anything?
Yeah.
Just doing it all in one place.
They were just so new. I was hesitant. I was afraid that it would break down in a year, and I just because I don't like making big purchases.
Yeah.
You know,
user. Someone said that on my on a full staff meeting that her washer and dryer was all in one, and I'm pretty sure like she needed some stock or commission because I think 35 teachers were like, "We will be buying that today, thank you." Like everyone
should have had a link.
Should have had an affiliate link, girl.
Yep.
I don't know how long we've been recording, but
I can't even see the computer. Can you check?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect timing then. It's time because we have some good stories today.
I would some good things to
I do say
talk
so myself.
TOK about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not even a story.
No, it's not, but
I should have known that. I knew what they were before.
If you want to talk about the talk,
TikTok got banned for 12 hours.
That was the wildest thing
it was
that I've ever seen.
To go onto the app and it be like, no, bitch, you can't be here. Like it was wild.
Yeah, it's like a stripping away of rights almost of like, why is this being
I enjoyed,
banned? Like this is my news outlet now.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed getting it back the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got nervous about where am I going to find like the ear cleaning videos? Like I haven't curated my Instagram reels to be that lane, and I kind of like them to have separate vibes. TikTok is where I go like full feral into my guilty pleasures, like blackhead extractions and earwax removal, and
mine are all conspiracy theories.
We are served very different things. So. We're served very different
but it
things.
is my guilty pleasure. Like at night, I'm like, I want like a good conspiracy theory to like go down a rabbit hole of like, what am I going to see today?
No, for sure.
So
I support that.
Okay, our first story. Let's talk about the bridesmaid one because so this one came up. It was actually on People magazine that I found it on, and I thought it was really, really interesting because this is like a big trend that has been a trend for a few years now, I would say.
Yeah.
Of bachelorette. The story itself is bachelorette, but like in general, bachelor parties, they do some sort of
like weekend traveling getaway. The thing is that, I just spit so much. The thing is that weddings in general, like the wedding events have gotten, actually events in general have gotten so out of hand. Like you can't just have a like bachelorette night, a rehearsal dinner, a wedding, move on with your life. It is 37 showers. It is a bachelorette party. It's a bachelor party. It's a combined party. It's a this, it's a couple shower. It's a single shower. It's rehearsal. It's like so
it's
much. It's everything.
Lot.
And I mean, my sister is in like more weddings than anyone I've ever met in my life. And
27 dresses?
Seriously, but except not like the single depressing part, but just the
just like the
being a lot in weddings. And like can't imagine the amount of money that girl has to spend. Like I think a general rule of being included in someone's wedding is going to cost you like $1,000.
Yes.
And that's
correct.
Insane.
So with this story, what happened was one of the girls in the bridal party, they were all obviously invited on this trip, and it was going to be at least $500 for the weekend. And it was a Thursday through a Monday trip.
So you're taking off 2 days of work minimum.
Well, and
if you don't take off Thursday.
School, and she's working full time. And so she texted the bride, her friend, and said, I can make it Saturday and Sunday, but I really can't make it Friday and Monday.
Yeah.
I can't take off work for that. Yeah. It's a lot of money to lose. And the bride got short with her and said, you need to be here to set up, and you need to be here for the whole thing. Like, this is a part of my wedding.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You telling me I need to be somewhere to set up? Like, literally, gaff yourself.
Here,
we're not friends anymore.
No. And here's my take on it. Like, if you are going to have a 4-day weekend bachelorette trip, I think that that's awesome. I think that's fun.
Sure.
But if someone can't make it or can't afford it, then you can't be upset about it.
Grow up.
Like it would be a thing of whoever can make it then can. And she was willing to go for 2 days.
Which is so nice.
Yes.
Like, and I think about like my max of being away from my kid overnight is 2 days. Like I've learned that through trial and error. And like 2 days is manageable for me. I don't feel like I'm going to freak out. It's fine. But outside of that, like you want me to be gone for 4 nights or like, no, absolutely
and expensive.
not.
And so, but I think that it's just a crazy, the weddings have just, like you were saying, the amount of events that go into one wedding and the amount of money you're asking someone to spend is crazy. And if they want to do that, that's different.
Right.
If they can't afford it, you can't be upset with them about that.
No. But I mean, even just all these events, like, sure, it's the gifts and the this and this, but like think of dresses alone, like what you have to pay to outfit yourself, and everything's such a production for social media now too. Like you have to wear shoes and a dress that no one's ever seen before, and it's like, who gives a shit?
I would say just for the wedding itself, like if we could throw out a number, like I'm thinking shoes, dress, jewelry, and then like if you were to have to pay for your own hair and makeup, you're looking at probably $400, $500, right? And that doesn't account like for if you need to stay at a hotel.
Yes. Well, you and I also have been married for a while. We're old maids now.
So it might even be
more expensive. Because like I remember my bridesmaids dresses, but I got married young. So like everyone was still in college when I got married, I think. Or had just graduated. And my dresses were like $175.
Yeah.
Like that's what they were. And then you had to get them altered. And I remember being like, oh my God, $175. Like how are they going to pay for it? And it's like now... I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's everything. Same thing with like having a baby. You have to have a gender reveal party. You have to have this party. You have to have this party. This shower. This
people expect a lot out of others.
Yes. And I didn't do a gender reveal. Neither did you.
I did one with Addie.
Oh yeah.
I did a little one. I think it's just because she was our first one, but like no one was bringing gifts. It was just a gathering.
And it wasn't crazy. Like.
We hit a pinata and like it was just more so like so people could be there. But then with Tucker, honestly I enjoyed it a lot more. Matt and I read the results. They were emailed to us and we read them together and I got it on video.
Did you get the results earlier in the day and wait for Matt?
No, they came in first thing in the morning. And so, and I think it happened to be a weekend. And so it was like 7 a.m. Both of us are like still in pajamas, hair's a mess. And I recorded us.
That video makes me cry whenever I watch it. I had to conference call Connor in with our OB because he was at work.
Oh, I forgot about that then.
Yeah, I was at home and she was like, I have the results. And I was like, let me call my husband. So I called him and like joined him onto our call. So we were on a 3-way call and she told us.
Oh,
and then I called everyone and made them like place their final bet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And pretty much some people said it was a girl. I can't think of who. I need to ask. I kind of feel like Troy. I'll have to ask and confirm. I feel like Troy might have said it was a girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, bitch, I got the boy I wanted. I got my little man.
Yeah.
And here he is.
But
almost 3 years later.
I just think things have gone like out
it's such
of
a
hand
production.
With those events.
Yes.
So, and it's all for social. At the end of the day, it's so you can make a cute post.
It's all for the perception.
It's for perception.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like, you know, if you're someone that's in that position, don't feel like you are less than because you can't afford or simply don't want to do the extra events. Keep it to the bare min. Yeah. And let's all be happy and move on with our lives.
I agree.
Amen.
I agree.
Our next story?
Our next story is about it's kind of a new trend. I don't want to say trend, but I think we're moving towards a society where it's a little bit more accepted for men to be stay-at-home dads. And I liked the article that was written. It was actually based in the UK. So it said like 1.9% of men are stay-at-home dads there. But that number has actually went up over the last couple of years.
I believe that.
And it talked about the perspective of these dads who go to all of the events or play dates and things, and how women want to be a little bit more, I think this is what I read in it, like want to be more mindful of those dads who are kind of just standing there like out of place. They've put their career on pause like women have for years, and now the script is flipped is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. What was your thought on the whole thing?
I definitely agree. And I think like stay-at-home mom culture and like mom culture is such its own thing. I think it gets a little tricky to like say you're going to go full force and include stay-at-home dads and everything and be like, and treat them like one of the moms, because at the end of the day, it is someone else's husband. And if Connor was a stay-at-home dad, I don't think I'd be comfortable with him having a community like I do with other moms.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's hard because that isn't like a really, the niche hasn't been like dug out completely yet. So it's like you don't have a lot of other dads to connect with. But I think what makes motherhood and motherhood communities and like building those communities is that shared experience of being a woman. And I think it's great that dads stay home. I'm not saying that at all. I just think it's like a hard...
Where do they find their place?
Right. Like, because it is kind of like square peg, round hole. Like, they can't assimilate completely to being a stay-at-home mom because it's not the same thing.
But they're sharing at the same time, they're sharing the experience of putting their career on
100%.
pause and the everyday, monotonous things that you're doing. So, but I totally get what
it's just like saying. Hard. I don't know what the fine line is there. And like, I obviously would love to make anyone feel included that was like being a parent. Like I fully support that and endorse that, but I don't know what the answer is for like where their place is socially, because it's like, you can't go to a dad and be like, got my period today, this is a terrible soccer match. Like, it's just not the same as that communal, like, girlhood that you have with other moms. And at the end of the day, sorry, boys, you didn't carry that guy. That you literally did very little and got a baby out of it. So I think that's part of being a mom, too, is just, like, that experience. Even if you adopt or whatever, there is a different biological component to it. So anyways, not to say that they can't be part of things, but I think it's an interesting angle to be like, we're left out. And it's like, but it's not, it's different.
I think that this conversation, though, is going to start happening more and more as these guys take this on. I think about, though, like, for majority of relationships I know, I think it would be difficult for the dad to stay home because I think naturally, like, at least in the fields that we know, the men make more money. So it's like, in what world is it where the woman is making more money? Because that's not very common either, and that's why typically dads don't stay home. But if they had that opportunity, I just think that this will start coming up more.
I think it'll be more of a conversation. But I also think women typically are more pulled to stay home than men. Like, I think that's how we are wired, because if men wanted to, I mean, I'm speaking very broadly, this may not be your situation, but men biologically were designed in evolution to go out and do the hunting and the gathering and all that and bring it back to the mom and baby, right? Like, we as women are nurturers, and that's just like, you're fighting biology in some ways. And it's not to say that it can't be done, but it is just an interesting, like, it's shifting the dynamic and the narrative a lot, and I don't know. I think it'll be different.
And some people might be okay with that.
Oh, for sure,
too. For sure. And so I think it just depends on, like, what are you okay with?
I would love for Connor to be here more, but if he wanted to quit his job, we would have to live in a box and sell our podcast equipment, and I would have to sell feet pics and start an OnlyFans, and we would still live in a box. So
exactly.
In summary, but I mean, I think as more men start staying home, I think that conversation will change too, because then they can have stay-at-home dad groups. It's just like, to try to fit a man into the woman's space,
there's no way to assimilate right now.
Right, exactly.
Because it's so niche, like you said.
Exactly. And that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think it's just something that's going to begin. It'll become more common as times develop. Okay. Our last story. And this one I'm excited about.
I'm so excited about.
I'm so excited about this one. And for all of my slightly like crunchy almond, whatever the words are you want to use, hippie. They just FDA, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It was just banned. Red number 3, food dye.
God bless.
Finally. Now.
The fact that this has ever made it into our food.
It's all synthetic processed. It's a synthetic processed dye, and it's being linked to cancer now. There are still multiple dyes. There's still red number 40, yellow, blue. There's still all of these things.
But it's starting.
It's starting. At least we're making progress, because in a lot of other countries, this isn't even allowed. And I thought it was interesting because reading that article, California has had it banned. They've had it banned in their state, which I had no idea.
I didn't either.
They even...
Well, and it's in so many things. Like, I've looked at the list before, but like, all the red Sour Patch Kids, any red candy, like Doritos, nacho flavor that have the red season. It's like, I mean, it's in so much shit, especially things that are targeted for kids.
Well, and things that are made to be addictive. So I think about, I saw that it was in Takis, and I think about all of my kids at the elementary level, and they were obsessed with Takis. And I kept saying there's something addictive because they're carrying around these giant bags and like, they're just are obsessed with it. And one of the things is that synthetic dye, which is addictive.
Yep.
And so the FDA has until 2027, not the FDA, whatever. Food companies have until 2027 to take this out of our food.
But did you see that like Big Pharma has until 2028 to take it out of medicine?
That's ridiculous.
Why the hell was it even in medicine?
Why is it in medicine to begin with?
Make sense. Who decided that we're going to put that in
red dye into?
Why? For what reason? Yeah. I mean, even with food, for what reason? I don't understand how we're at a point where these things are in our food. Like, it's wild. So regardless of your political affiliation, I feel like we're making forward progress with the FDA, and I really am excited to see how much they shake it up. Hopefully more.
I think there has been a huge shift over the past few years of people starting to understand labels and start to question, why is this okay?
And just looking at them, because it's like for us, I mean, I just am like, yeah, whatever. I know it's not good for you, but it's fine. But then I like really start thinking about it and like the implications, what it could look like when Fielding's older. Like if I give him food consistently that is linked to cancer, like, and then he has cancer one day, like I will blame myself. Because I didn't do the research and do the work. And how many people are out there like just not knowing what you're giving your kids? It's terrible. It's just
not having the information on it. And I think like hopefully, in platforms like TikTok, that TikTok is accessible to anyone and everyone with a phone. This is how we're getting out, like we're receiving information about things that no one ever talked about before. So I am so excited because my favorite thing was whenever Addie would eat something red dyed and no one believed me at first. Like they were y'all were like hesitant. Like
we were like, yeah, red 40.
I would say like, when she does this, like she acts like a different kid. She gets mad. She gets like severely hyper.
It is insane that you can see it like hit her system.
Yes. And it would be like a red Gatorade, for example. And then it was with my dad who finally was like, oh, I see what you're saying. It was red Jell-O that she had at his house. And all of a sudden it was like a switch. And she's just a kid that's hypersensitive to like external stimuli anyways.
Yeah.
But because I don't think it affects like all kids that way, but if you are a sensitive kiddo like that, like it threw her off. And I'm not saying we're perfect with the red dyes, like,
but y'all are pretty good about
try to like
cutting them out,
limit it. But there are so many alternatives now. Like I think Aldi's and Target has like really good alternatives
like
for
organic options.
Yeah, where it's like still like they can still have candy. It just doesn't have the dyes in it.
Yeah. Oh, so I want to start kill them. Cool.
Yeah, I want to start like trying to switch to that more because we do like Friday movie night where the kids get candy, and I'm like, I want to start like, let's go to Target and pick out one. Y'all can have candy still, but
different
just
types.
Being more aware of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully our government gets on the same page and just eliminate some of it. Our sound mixer's getting red, so
okay.
Probably need to go. Cheers and jeers really fast.
Cheers and jeers. Cheers would be getting to watch my friend run the half marathon. For the first time ever, I was on the sidelines cheering.
Beautiful.
And that was a lot of fun. Jeers would be probably not having the day off, even though it was a snow day for everybody. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Same for me on the not having the day off. I'll copy you on that. But it was nice because Connor was home. So even though I was like working, I just still knew he was in the house, and it's so comforting. Also, another jeers is that the kids' school is canceled tomorrow, and we have a full work day. So it's going to be tag teaming.
We are tag teaming.
Courtney and Emily. Send prayers. When you're listening to this, just know we're in the trenches.
Yep.
And then my cheers is Fielding seeing snow for the first time today. That was so fun, and he loved it so much until he didn't. There was a moment of terror, but he did great, and he loved it, and he had so much fun. And my sister-in-laws and their husbands came and played with him, and it was just fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Well, as Addie told me while I was leaving, she goes, "Mom, enjoy your podcast."
Aww,
I was like, "Oh, baby. Sweet girl."
I love her so much.
So, okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week. Really, those stories were like interesting enough for everybody. So. I enjoyed talking about them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Rate, review, subscribe. You can follow us on TikTok because it's not banned anymore.
Yep. We'll be there. We'll be there on Reels too.
And the Schminster Shram Instagram, and we'll
all right.
TTYL.
Bye.
Bye.